420 MSP. We're going around the horn in Q2. We're back with Duane Roebuck of Blue Star. So, sir, looks like you're working from home. What's going on?
I am. I'm working from home. I'm, casual. Hey, this is pure coincidence because I forgot we had this going on today, but I'll show you the rest of my shirt. It's funny how we're talking cannabis, but huge Bob Marley fan. So I saw the shirt this morning. I'm like, oh, let me throw on Brother Bob. And so yeah, we're pretty much shut down. Our corporate office is 95% of us are working remotely. Our warehouse staff is definitely our most critical right now because they're helping to, even though we're set up as an essential business, they're the ones that are in there on the grind and getting it done so that we can get the product shipped out so that, it'll help healthcare, retailers, restaurateurs, et cetera. So, if you don't mind, I really like to shout out first responders, warehouse workers, everybody who, we tend to overlook or, perhaps even minimize. Now those are the essential guys. And I just, want them to know I appreciate them. And I can't wait, till we can, get back. Because I'm actually friends with some of our warehouse guys, and we chop it up over sports and things like that. So thank you to everybody that's out there risking and sacrificing so that we can do what we do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So one of our analysts that and he's up on the site, and he's part of the conference coming up in early June, Dan Foote, an MSP from Anchorage, Alaska, shared the other day, very quickly at a high level. Guy's got a client. The client went from 3 workstations down to 2 workstations, right? Everybody's looking to survive. And that spurred an interesting conversation that if you blow that out at a macroeconomic level, that's a real concern, right? That's a 33% reduction in node count. So I pose the same question to you. What are you hearing from your community of resellers and suppliers in terms of the economic reality starting to set in?
Yeah, across the board, healthcare for our business is, really skyrocketing, of course. But when it comes to traditional retail, that has pretty much shifted to, if the store is even open, you're looking at more of a BOPIS strategy, buy online, pick up in store. So, we're seeing where e-commerce is really starting to dominate. From the restaurant and hospitality perspective, we're looking at solutions that, before where, their main source of business was people coming in and eating. We're seeing where, now it's mobile pickup, delivery type options. And coincidentally, we're also seeing that in the cannabis industry. A lot of these guys, in order to, keep down the social distancing and things like that, they're looking at new solutions. Kiosk solutions are one that I'm hearing a lot of, so that there's, as minimal, face-to-face transactions, that sort of thing. The unfortunate thing with the cannabis industry is that we're not at a point where you can actually do full e-commerce ordering, even though, I've had multiple conversations today. It again speaks to the hypocrisy of this country. It's a Schedule I drug, but every state that has it has deemed it essential. So I'm starting to have more conversations. Don't even get me started on that. I'm starting to have more conversations. It's a Friday.
Let's keep it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it short and sweet. I know. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'm going to make a side note, and we'll talk about that next month. That is a topic. That's a topic unto itself.
Right.
But yeah, I was just curious. Here's the cool thing about our relationship historically with distributors, including yourself, is distributors basically are getting big data, right? And you can apply analytics to it, and what's going on out there, right? What's hot, what's not, and the quantities. And so that's, I want to continue this conversation. I just wanted to introduce the economic conversation today because, this is a long-term conversation, but I'll be very interested to see what your data points are in the different verticals. You kind of shared it. I mean, healthcare up, retail on-prem down. It'll be very interesting to double click into that over the next year and see what the new normal is, right? Because there's going to be winners and losers.
Right.
So,
and I think, the conversations I'm having, or, I'm at least, starting to spearhead are strategic conversations as far as, we're feeling a pain point now. Even though, I don't necessarily agree with expeditiousness of wanting to open things back up, it appears that's going to happen. And so, when I look at, what's going on and, some folks that we've talked to, especially as it relates to pandemics, they're talking about, there could be a second and potentially a third wave of this. So the conversations that I believe are going to be the most productive is, all of these guys are feeling a pain point. The demand spiked up, kind of like the whole toilet paper thing. It's gone down, but what they see is the average, amount per transaction is remaining up, where people are just purchasing more just in case, it's not available at some point. So once they open it up, depending on how things go, we could see it, wane off and normalize. But I think the people who are really gonna, profit and do well long term are the ones who have the conversation of what happens on this second or potentially even this third wave, and how do you begin to automate more so that there's less and less, interaction. And so those are the discussions I'm looking at as far as, kiosk solutions, better quality scanners, that thing. How do we get operational efficiencies so that, when this comes, they're prepared? And I'm seeing everything from, RFID being introduced into the dispensary, so they're doing a lot as far as, trying to get through this time, but also, I want to make it clear, we need to prepare for the next one, because this isn't, hopefully this is it, but, logic tells me there's going to be something else.
Yeah. Well, we'll make that the final word. Thank you for your time. I realize you're busy. It's the best of times and the worst of times. Was that Shakespeare? It's one of those dudes.
I think that was it was the best of times. Isn't that A Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickinson?
Okay, thank you. See, I learned something from you every time we talk, sir. Well,
hopefully it's more than that.
Yeah. Well, have a great Friday. Keep up the good work. And back to your point, a shout out to the frontline workers, the healthcare providers, the essential workers. I concur. Make that the final word, my friend.
Thank you so much, and great weekend to you and Jenny.
All right. Take care.
You too.